Okay, good evening, everyone. Once again, um, I think we just start now, and then we'll see how it goes. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for another time. Thank you for the grace to be here tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to come and learn and upskill. We pray the grace we need to put into use every bit that we learn. Give to us in the name of Jesus. That this skill will return to us value and resources sustainable enough to set us free from lack and want in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you, everlasting Father. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. So all right. So you are welcome everybody. Our tutor is not around tonight. He's not around. I'm so sorry about that. Um, the reason why he's not around it's because he's not at home, and where he is out of electricity power supply, so he's unable to charge his device or devices, as the case may be. However, I know many of us would have set out this time for the purpose of learning, and we wouldn't want to disrespect you by just canceling the class. So every class is important. All right. All right. So let's start. Since I'm not a tutor, I think it's going to be a good way to start by asking us questions. You telling me what you have learned so far, or you don't have to tell me everything. You can just tell me one thing that stood out for you so far, or something that you were unable to do before, but now you can do it as a result of this training that you've been attending so far. Today is the fifth class, so right, I think that's correct. Sister Patricia, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Aha. So we are more than halfway through because we're going to have 8 classes in total. And if today's fifth class, that means that this class will be wrapping up next week, Saturday. All right. So that means we've come far. So let me hear from you guys. I'm going to pick it according to the screen. Now, Mayowa, you are the first on my screen, but you know what? I'm going to come back to you because you just joined of recent. All right. But I'll come back to you. See, tell me what you've been able to do because I've seen some of your work. Okay, so Sister Patricia, sorry to bother you. You seem to be the next person on my screen. Please, can you tell us?
Okay, everyone. Good evening, sir. Okay, so far, I've actually learned a lot because I I've been using Canva, but I never knew that if I want to design a flyer or um I want to design a flyer. I never knew that I had to look at the color. I didn't know the color combination. Me, I'll just go to Canva and I'll see color that I like. I'll just pick. I don't know that the maybe like the picture I want to use, I can actually follow the color combination of the picture given to me to like get my color blocking on my Canva on my flyer. So before, what I used to do is if I want to design anything, I'll just go to Canva and look at the template that I like with the color. I'll just say, oh, this is blue. I love this blue. Even with the class, I don't know that with the class, I don't know that oh, I can actually use the picture I'm given with the color. to I was also able to learn how to use Photoshop,
Hmm. Network, oh, sister Pat, your network, oh.
my network.
Now you're back, right?
Okay. So in the time of text, putting text and knowing that we capture people attention too, I've learned that one also. And I know that okay, if I'm putting a text or if I'm designing a logo, I have to look out I have to explain, I have to look at my logo, I have to explain whatever I'm putting in my logo. Like now, if I'm saying my own logo, I want to like a perfume logo. Now, if I put it, I have to look at my brand, I have to explain it, and everything I'm putting there it has to have a meaning to people, not just picking anything and just putting it there. I have to just explain whatever I'm putting in my logo on or my flyer. So I have learnt a lot. So
Amazing, amazing. I would want us to give Sister Patricia a round of applause. I think if you look at the control panel there on your screen there, you should see the hand emoji and then just click the clapping one. That should throw in some clap there. Let's give her some. We will clap for you too when it's your time. So make use of the emoji. Nice one. That Patricia, you are receiving a lot of applause from us. That's amazing. That's amazing. Hmm. Good one. So I think I would say that from what I said, it's actually a correct one that you've learned something new. You know, sometimes we know we use there are some things that we use, but we actually don't. Uh, we really don't have understanding about them in details. You know, we just know that we know how to read this thing, but you don't because we are not professional. You don't have the detail, but I can be doing this thing somehow, but you don't know the terminologies and all of these things. And these are the things that we are learning. All right. So because of time, let me quickly move on. Sister Tolu ST, you are next on my screen. Do you want to tell us any bits you've learned so far?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Like Miss Pat said, she said a lot of things, and although I've been using Canva for a long time, but I've learned some new things, like ensuring that the colors I choose, the colors on on the person's outfit or the colors on a picture should also align with the whole flyer, and then the typography, the logo. I'm yet to get the grasp of the logo, but I've learned a lot, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, YPN.
Amazing. Can we give her a round of applause, please? Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you so much, ma. Now let's hear from yeah, let's hear from bro Pamileri. Yes, it for me.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Though I've actually been engaged and I've not really been following, and let me just say I know some few things about Canvas, and I, about Canva rather, and I design as well, but not really with Canva as such. I've just been following from reports from a view. But if there is anything that I've picked from what he said, just like something that's been reinforced, because basically it's my field, so we're taught all of these things in school and
Mm.
all of those. Yes. So we emphasize something that made me remember. Okay, hierarchy. When you are putting up letters,
Yeah.
you have to like consider which one is the most important. Yeah, you
Hmm.
don't just arrange the letters. Instead, you look for, okay, this is the priority. This is where I want my viewers or my audience to look into. Because if you consider, when someone is making an advertisement, and I wish I can actually just display some things, maybe some, I mean, compare a good one and some that needs improvement. Actually, you observe that from a good one, there's a level of balance with the choice of letters, with the image projection, the arrangement, and choice of colors as well, which are key elements when you are making out a design. You don't just design anyhow. And I'm sure we must have seen something like a design that someone can just use um, colors, different colors, careless texts, and let me see, maybe just an unorganized arrangement. So one of the key things that Sir Nix emphasized was a need to like make a balance out of all these things.
Was it Sanix or Mr. Genesis?
Oh, sorry. I meant Mr. Genesis. My apologies. I
Oh,
meant one of those that meant it's essential that I put into balance. In my field, we recognize all these things as that if you want to make a design, you start with dots followed by line, followed by space, shape, color, texture, form. All of those things are incorporated, especially when you're making a graphic design. So implementing all of these things, there are rationales that you have to like put in place. One must not be dominant than the other. Ensure that the principle of balance is applied. There's harmony, there is there's variety, there is rhythm, there is a proper arrangement where it should be. So let me just
okay.
cap my pen there.
All right. Thank you. Can we give him a round of applause? Thank you, sir. Next on my screen here is that will be Pastor Diego Kezaya. What have you learned so far? What stood out for you since you started this class? Let us know.
All right. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Uh, I've learned a lot from this class because I have this app on my phone, I think, since last year, though I don't know how to use it. I tried to use to design last year. Thing doesn't work well because I have a training like this, but there's no practical. It's just online talk, you go this, you do this. So I was unable to pick what was being taught that period. So the now makes the app useless to me. But thank God for this teaching that is more of practical to me. And when I give a try and I try to design just a like a flyer for my company where I'm working, and it works out well for me. Even when I posted it on a company WhatsApp group, my boss was like, did I use AI to design it? I said, no, it's my phone. He said, wow. So I want to really appreciate this setup. It really works for me very, very well. Thank you, sir.
Amazing. Let's give him a round of applause, please. All right. Next person on my screen now is okay. All right. Let me see now. Um, we have AY Cisco. AY, are you able to speak now? Is AY even still there? Otherwise, yeah, AY. Okay, the floor is yours. Okay, we're not sure if AY is there. What about Douglas? Do you want to say one or two? Okay. Uh, I can see Amos. Amos, do you want to say one or two as to your experience so far in this class? All right. Okay. No, no worries. Now I'll probably just take it to be all for now. All right. So amazing, amazing. It's a good one that you guys you've been up to. Um, so in summary, I can see that everything that you guys have learned because it's the same course, same class, same session, same tutor. We've learned similar thing. So, okay, Mayowa, I said I was going to allow Mayowa to speak. Sorry, Mayowa, do you want to speak now?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. I just joined last week and I learned how to make use of templates and to create my own logo, sir.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. That's a
Yes,
good one.
sir.
That's a good one. So I think it's my one mentioning template. The rest of us we didn't even talk about template at all. Whereas that's what we are all using. Now, okay, so this is what we're going to do now. Let me give us a run through, and then there's need for using some terminologies as well. Since we are all creative now, or we are, you are halfway through already. So when you talk about the use of color and how to use your color well, combining your color, it's fall under the terminology called color grading. Okay, we call it color grading, right? That's the term we use. So now again, there's something we call color wheel as well. What I'm going to do now is that um I'm sharing a screen. I'm going to open another window here and I will just show you what a color will look like. Color wheel, or some people call it, is it palette? Now, I don't know if that is an English word or a French word, but we usually call it palette, color palette. Um, so let's see now, color wheel, wheel as in wheelbarrow. Okay. So yeah, color wheel exactly. Now let me share that particular screen so that we can see example of color wheel. Da, 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 da. Okay, Chrome tab, color wheel. Okay, so now do we see a color wheel is a visual representation of colors arranged according to their chromatic relationships. Okay. Now maybe I will go a little bit into the details then now. So take it from me tonight. Maybe you are learning more of theory from me tonight since your guy is not around. All right. So okay, I think there's even something on Canva here for this color wheel of a thing. So you see now, good. I think this is a good one, right? And when you see something, let me look for color palette also. I think this is just open one window at a time. You see palette, they call it now. Let me see now. Okay. Yes, exactly. It's a palette. It's a palette. Um, Let me open up this one. I don't know if this image is. Just give me a second to look for a very bright image to share. Okay, I think this one makes sense. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, now I will need to share. Maybe I should share my entire window so that as I'm moving, you'll be seeing where I'm moving to. Let me share the entire window, entire screen. Let me just share the entire screen, yeah. I will do the entire screen. This one. Okay. So let me see. Are you guys able to see the page I just opened? Are you able to see this color palette? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
good, good. You see, the advantage of this color palette is that it tells you of uh color family, the kind of color you can combine together that we go. It's the same way you dress. You know that if you want to, okay, I want a sister to meet, maybe Sister Tolu, Sister Tolu, tell me two combination of color you can't put on as a lady when you dress. Two color you can't combine.
That's white, white and no, no, no,
No, no.
like green and orange. I don't know.
Okay, maybe green and orange. I hope green and orange is not appearing on our color palette here. I really don't know so much about. I don't have it often, but whenever I want to use it, I know where to do my research and see if this combination will go. But if you look at it, it will not depends on what kind of green are we talking about. Like you ladies, you it's for women that we have just only one color. But for you ladies, if you mention green, then you now have to begin to talk about the family of green, variant of green. Maybe it's now leaf green, or it's turquoise green, or it is lizard green, or agama lizard green. All kind of green, all right? Or you are talking about lemon, you are talking about all of these kind of green, green family, so to say. So it's not dependent. Can somebody else give me a combination of colors that you can't combine? You shouldn't combine when you're dressing up. Yes. Douglas, are you able to speak? Or Sister Patricia? Or Bro Adegoke? Anybody? Now let's make anybody now. You can mute and tell us what colors you are so sure you can't combine together. Yes.
Orange and
Orange
purple.
and purple. It's just off, even from just saying it. I really don't know if it's off or not, but just the way you just say it now, it's almost obvious that it's off. Okay, so orange and purple. So now when you now come to the color wheel or the color palette, it tells you the family of color. So you can see my mouse, right? You can see my mouse here on this first palette here. You can see these are families of color you can combine together. So when a flyer appears, you can combine these colors on a single flyer. This one too, you can combine these colors. So you just look at them like this. So the best thing for you is that if you want to design something, if a color is coming to your head, so let's say example that the main color you want to use, let's say that it is green, and you need to mix, you need to touch it up. So you are better go and check the green color palette up and see other variant you can use with green. Otherwise, you might be combining the wrong color. So this one I'm saying the green family. You can see these are various shades of green that goes with this particular green. They all have name, and there's something we call color code as well. You see, let me come back to Canva here. You see, can you see what I'm highlighting here? This
Yes,
this
yes, yes.
particular exactly. So sometimes in if you are using Photoshop always have this. Even Canvas too has it. When our instructor was teaching on Saturday, he was trying to look for good color or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I even dropped the color code in the chat. So I don't know if anybody saw it, but I he didn't pick it. So now there are codes. So it is always best if you want a good color. Sometimes you will come to this wheel and you'll be like, okay, maybe gold is somebody will say this is good. Now, for example, now, is this a good color? Or you want me to come down a little bit? Let's mix for good color. Do you think this is good? Is it golden enough? Do
No.
we think this is golden enough? It's getting darker here now and it's getting lighter here. So what do you think I need to do? Do you think it's golden enough? So you are very specific on the color you are looking for. You need good color. So what I will do most of the time is that I will just come, you just use your Google. You just say gold color code, COD, okay, and it will give you that code. See, the code is hash FFD700. So original gold, this is actually the color. So just copy that code, and then you can, since we are dealing with this particular one here, you can just replace it with what you have here and just put it there. And now you have the color has changed. So this is in general now. We will see how how applicable it is on our design. I'm going to show you in a second now. So I guess what I'm trying to even talk about, I'm talking about the terminology called color grading. That's what you call it. You see, you are grading the color, you are mixing color together, and what have you. So make sure that before you mix color together, please take notes. Go and search for color palette. You know, if you have the primary color or the main color you want to use, for example, now we have a color that is very common with us here in YPN. It's orange. So if you go and search for color palette orange, now it will give us the family of orange. And if you look at it and you check our logo, we don't have anything off from this variety. If you look at YPN logo, which is this one here, you know, you will see that we have something very close to red, aside from the orange color, which happen to be the main color. You see that now? You see that? So you have a bit of red. If you check the color palette here, where's the one that I just even open now? Now I have so many tab open. You see, in the family of orange, you can see this yellow and it's fading into red here. You can see orange here and it's fading into white. So that means that white can also go with it. All right. So from here now, you can even see the combination of something black and gray goes into, you can combine it as well. So if you have a flyer now that has orange color, you can as well do it. And professionally, you are still correct as far as, you have double check what you are doing, and you can see other, variants as well. All right. So if somebody was so specific on the kind of color they need on their design, please, what you should go and do is that go and look for the color code. That's what you should use to do run your design. Okay, look for the color code. I don't know if I have any design on this system here. So on this account, I've only done only this banner, but we can do something about this banner too, because this banner on itself is a design and you can see the color. So one thing that Canva does is that once you have any existing color on your design, maybe it's on the template, once you click on that design, you see the color here. This place that it has editing, you can always go there and you now see the family of that color too there. So Canva is already highlighting for me colors that I have on this banner, colors that looks more like what it can detect on this banner here. All right. So that's one thing that we need to take note as well. And like I told you, if you need a particular color, you see this place now, I can just put in my color code there. You see now, as I've put this color code now, you see that gold don't, you have it here now. You have the good color. You have it here, and you can now make use of it. You understand? So, and you can see Canva too doing justice to it. You see, Canvas is also giving you various color that you can also combine. That's basically what Canva is also doing here. That's basically what Canva is doing here. So you see, Canva is, the AI behind this particular tool is very, very useful. So gone are the days where you are confused as to what color to combine or what not. Any questions so far? I can take a question. Okay, so color grading is the first thing I want to talk about. Now, Sister Patricia did mention of how to type your text and everything. All of those things fall under typography. Okay, that falls under what? Typography. So when you talk about typography, you already know how to type in your Canva already. I don't have to teach you that, but if you want me to touch a little bit on that, yeah, our instructor did a good job. So you will always. So now I'm using my laptop to show you all of these things. So it might look a little bit different, but all of these things you have them. The icons are the same. So if you are familiar with the icons, you can easily find what you need on your phone. Now, if you click on text, you usually have, you know, the first thing is that, okay, what kind of text do you need? Are you looking for an heading, or you are just looking for like a sub-heading, or you are looking for just the body of, the flyer? So which usually the text will be smaller. Now, either you pick, you can always adjust. Either you pick, you can always adjust, but you just have the fourth one to make use of just to help your work easier. All right. So let's say that so that we can all see it very well. I just pick this add heading. So once I click it, it automatically, comes into my worksheet here. You know, I think there's another term that you call this thing. There's another term, this our graphic people they call it. I'm calling it worksheet. I think there's another is it artboard? Maybe it's artboard. Bro, just to for me, I don't know if you can confirm that for me, but I think it's probably artboard or so. So where you are working on, so you have this space you are working on. All right. So now me changing this text now to whatever size, either I'm increasing the font size. Now this kind of text that you have here, every kind of text have a name or has a name, so to say. This particular one that we are using, the way the character looks like, the way either it's straight or it looks coily, it has a name. So this particular one now has a name. Its name is Canva Sans. This is the name here. Canva Sans. So this will tell you that this one is particularly created by Canva. That's why it has the name there and Sans. If you send email regularly on Gmail as well, Gmail also has Sans. There are so many Sans, variety by so many developers and what have you. All right. So as you have this now, you can always change it. So let's say this another kind of, it depends on how clear you want your work to be, what you are trying to achieve. So as we pick on this bricolage, you can see that the character has kind of changed. Do we get what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So is only Sister
So
Patricia that's getting it? Aha.
it's understandable, sir. It's
Yeah.
understandable.
So
I'm
take it from
understanding, sir.
Good. Take it from me tonight that I am teaching you the theoretical part of this work that you are engaging at, because anything you can't explain to people, even though you know how to do it, you have not mastered it. That's what it means. So you must be able to talk it. You must be able to understand some terminology when they talk about font or font size, typography, all of these things. You should understand those terms. They go a long way. Even when if somebody asks you that design a flyer for me, you should be able to ask a question as a professional. Don't just say that, okay, you want to design flyer for church. Okay, no problem. Okay, send me the info. Sometimes you are very specific. You can be specific. You can say that. How many of us remember, maybe some of us that we did desktop management, when you go to computer training school to go and learn how to type, they will give you assignment sometimes to go and type a Word document, and they will give you the specification that, okay, you use is it Time New Romance, whatever, use double spacing, specifications as to what they are expected. So, and that's what you must use. You must understand all of those things. If you change it here now, it becomes another thing. So, it depends on your own taste. It depends on what you want. It depends. So you have tons of probably hundreds or thousands of fonts that you can pick from. Now, some of them are paid and some of them are probably not. So when you now leave there, when you have picked the particular font type that you want, let me say that I pick this Arimo, and then I can go ahead and pick the text style. The text style, here now we are using the heading type, okay? And we have subheading, that's the text type we're using here now. So once you are done with that, you can always come back, do you want to adjust, want to increase, you can always do that as well. All right. Or you have so many things you can still do. There are so many, you can turn your text into like something like a fancy art, I think there's something artistic. All right. So this is the default one. So see, this is the default one that I want to pick here now. This one has something like teamwork. It's editable. You can always change it. So something like this now is good for something like Sister Patricia, with your and Sister Tolu, with your children, like you want to something fun, this look more like school children, if you type something like you know okay, the thing don't go. So let me start to retain that. Control Z, where's my Control Z here? Okay, so let me see the case back. Oh, okay. So now this is funny now that it's not even replacing the same character. Let me see what it's not replacing the same character, and that is bad. I thought I can just edit it and it will replace me with the same character so that I'm able to just edit it straight away. But you can always work around things like this. You can be patient and just work around them. So something like this look fun or for whatever thing that you need it for. So you have so many options you can pick from. So yeah, there you go. It's about typography. And under this typography, you still have text color. You can change your text color practically here, and I think I saw that in the work we're doing on Saturday. And then you can bold it, okay, and then you can italicize it, like italic, that's to make it look a bit slanted. And then you can underline it, with the U there. You can do that, and then you can strike through. That's what that symbol is for. And this one is like changing it to uppercase or lowercase or a mix of both, so to say. And then you talk about alignment. That's another thing I want to talk about because Sister Patricia also mentioned something like that. So alignment is how your texts are actually aligned. There is actually a methodology towards this thing. So usually, I think one of the things that our tutor want to teach us is using a grid. Okay, grid lines to a grid line looks like your 2B notebook. That book we use for mathematics in primary school. Yeah, that's how your grid lines looks like. So it helps you to align your work. So, but sometimes what some people will do, for example, in Photoshop, you have a ruler, that you can always use to guide your work to see, okay, if this thing is straight or is slant or whatever. Because even this text, you can change the degree, the angle. You see, you can go that way, you can go this way. Sometimes you don't know if the degree is 0. If it's 0, that means it's horizontal. Okay. But sometimes it can be just around 2 or 1, and it will look as if it's straight, but then it's not straight. Okay, it's not really straight. So, and all of this thing can be error to your work, and you don't want that. Okay, so the other thing that you also need, like Sister Patricia said, it's about your what do we call it now, the message. What is the message you're trying to pass across? If you are designing a flyer or a poster for children, the way it has to be something that looks a little bit fun, so to say, something that looks attractive. So children, you don't need to be so serious on your flyer. You need to look for elements such that will look attractive to them, get their attention. So that's how you attend to children. The message of your flyer must be clear, or even the message of your logo must be clear as well. Now let's go back to Youth Prayer Network, and I will ask us a question here now. Project. Now let me put Youth Prayer Network up. Replace current page. Where is it? What is this one doing? What is he doing? No. 1 second there now. I'll probably just need to close this page. What I can do is this. Um, all right. Where are we now? All right. So let me just look for. Let me go back to project again. Uh, what's this thing doing? There's an issue here. What's going on? Uh-uh. So my cover is misbehaving. Just a second, please. All right. So I want to ask us a question. You see, based on the name of this organization here, right, and looking at the logo. So what can you explain from the logo? Looking at the logo, because your logo is supposed to carry a message, right? So what can you explain from this logo? Yes, let's take turn on this. If you have something to say, just unmute yourself. From the logo, what can you say?
Like networking.
Networking. So what made you to think so?
There are people and they're connecting to each other from one connecting, and so that's why I think there's networking there.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yes. That means that the person who designed this logo has put that into thought that, okay, this organization, the name is Youth Prayer Network, right? So how does it network? This is like a sign of networking. It's a sign of web, something connecting one to another. Brilliant. Well done. That's a good one. Yes, someone else. What else is your observation? Yes. Brother Adegoke, okay. Yes, we have a lot of people on the call here. Please, just unmute yourself and go ahead. Don't let me call your name because I can't see the other screen. If I go there, I won't be able to see what I'm displaying.
Oh, okay, sir. From the logo, there is something like tongue of fire, if I'm right.
Okay.
Yeah. So according to the name, prayer, prayer have to do with fire. So the fire there explain the name like prayer, something like that, sir.
Amazing. Amazing. That's brilliant, sir. That's brilliant, sir. That's it, sir. We always associate prayer and fire together. So that's it. That's it, sir. You see? So that means that the graphic designer wasn't the one who designed this. So the graphic designer was able to convey that message into that design. Yes. Does somebody want to say something else? what about the color? What can we say about the color? And again, let's since we mentioned youth, maybe I can just cover that up there so that since we have youth, if you look at it like Sister Patricia said the other time, that there are people connecting, you see. So these are representing youth, people, though we can't determine the age of people that are here, but we can see that that actually represent the people that are here. So that means that inside this logo that is on top of this font or typography or this text, from there you can signify, you can see that okay, I can see youth there. That's one mark. And then next you go to prayer. Okay, like bro, I think that's the voice of Pastor Adegoke. That signifies fire, and that's like prayer, and that's correct. That's correct. And then you talk about the network. You see the web, and say, okay, that's correct. That's correct as well. You see. So, but what about the color? Where does the color comes in here?
Like the color now. So the person that designed this, he used color grading. For example, now that youth, if he would have used maybe like orange, it won't catch the attention of people because the color will not pop out. So that
Yes,
black that you use, it makes it pop out to catch the attention of the people.
absolutely. That's for the text now, right?
Yes.
Good. That's correct, man. That's correct, man. That's correct, man. Is there another observation as to color? What's the color of fire generally?
Red, orange.
Yes. Generally, color of fire falls into this category. However, you can have a blue flame as well. You can have a blue flame as well, and it's more like if your burner is working very well, your gas cooker, it should be emitting blue flame, if your burner is okay. All right. So these are just the work of color. So you just see now that if you want to design, you don't just pick anything and just do. See, let me tell you something. I've seen some See, I've been so disappointed as far as graphics of many organizations. I won't be too specific now, especially in this overseas. While I was in Nigeria, I've always over hype, or overrate, organization overseas, saying that those guys, they do the best, they have access to the best, and what have you. I don't want to just show you some sample flyers, that I see out there designed by big organizations inviting people for program. Things are not just right. Things are not just right because they have their names there. So I can't put this, and because we are streaming this on YouTube, I can't put, it will just be like one is discrediting. You don't have to do that. But what I'm trying to say is that there are so many terrible, graphics design out there. So many terrible flyers out there. Just because maybe the person that did it just downloaded the app and begin to. So, and that is why those of us here, we are having advantage because we are learning and we are pushing ourselves out of such situations. Okay, so we have understanding of alignment. Now let me look for one of the flyers that we have here in YPN. Give me a second. It's good to see all of these things and explain. Sometimes we just see flyer and just be like, hey, okay, the flyer, they are inviting us for program. Henceforth, as a creative, begin to look at the content of every flyer. Begin to pay attention. Okay? Begin to criticize, you know. Yes, every work you see, look at it that okay, what is right here? What did they do that it really makes sense here? Okay, they should have removed this, they shouldn't have added this, and stuff like that. Let me look at I'm trying to see maybe I even have any flyer outside of Youth Prayer Network. that can be of help to us. Okay. Otherwise, I will just give us one of us and then we'll see what we can learn from it. Uh, to, 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 to. I don't have any strange flyer here. Okay. Youth Prayer Network, Youth Prayer Network, okay. Uh, I'm seeing one or two that we can learn from. Okay, now. Let's see. Okay. Let's just maybe we should pick the flyer for last week. Let me see that one. Okay. Now let me share my screen. All right. Okay, we can see this flyer, right? Can we all see the flyer on our screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as creative, what can you say about this flyer? Forget that you are familiar with it. Is there anything you think should have been better here? Or do you think everything is set? There are some lessons that I want to pick out here for you guys. You know, let's start with the typography and alignment.
Your screen is not shared, sir, so we can't see.
Ah, really? Sister Pat, I thought you said you can see my screen.
Sir, I can see very well, sir.
Okay, so my screen is not showing, right? Okay, okay. Oh yeah, give me a second there. Let me go and reshare the screen. Okay. Screen 2. All right. Okay. You should be able to see it now. What about now? Is it sharing?
Your screen is sharing.
You can see the flyer.
Yes, sir.
Aha, good. Now, tell me, what are your comments on this flyer? Look at the typography, look at alignment. There's a big lesson I really want to teach you here, but I want you guys to say one or two things first. Yes? Anybody? Okay. I'll go into the lecture. See, nobody's saying anything. All right. So first and foremost, let's start from the very top, right? You can see the logo, and so the text and the logo, they are together. That's the Youth Prayer Network plus, the logo plus Global Network of Youth Prayer Fellowship, and so everything is together. So one thing you will see here is that they are not scattered around. You can imagine a situation whereby the logo is at this edge on the left-hand side to the extreme left, and these texts are probably on the other end or in the middle here. That is not organization. One of the things that Pelumi was talking about, Pamela was talking about, was with respect to organization, organizing your work, all right? And that also is in line with alignment. Look at it now. This logo telling us about the organization. That's the first thing. Whatever the announcement is, the first thing we want to see is to know where this information, whatever information we want to hear, want to know where it's coming from. So the next thing, you can see other text that follow. This one tells us straight away that this is an online intensive prayer session, depending on what they are now doing now. Okay. If you look at the main heading, which happen to be either the topic or the theme here, it's legible, it's readable, it's visible. That is almost the first thing that attracts you. Is that correct? Is that correct, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. So if I close this flyer now, if there's something that you will remember, what would that thing be? If I just close this flyer now and I ask you that, can you remember anything on this flyer? What would that thing be?
Setback to bounce back.
That is correct. That is correct. Why? Because that is the center of attraction. It's big enough, it attracts you. So before you even begin to look at the organization and another thing, this setback to bounce back attracts you first. And that means that the message is well passed because that's what we actually want you to see. You cannot imagine the situation whereby it is my picture, the picture of whoever is here. Let us assume it's the person's picture that is as big as this text, and then the text is now as small as the time zones. So you can imagine. So that is you not passing the right message. So your message must always be loud and clear. So, and if you look at the entirety of this flyer, you will discover that it is actually the theme that is the biggest. That's what attracts everyone the most, and then every other details follows. Now, if you look at it again, you can see alignment. Look at each word from set, that setback. Look at bounce and back. You can see that they sit on each other like a set of block. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Look at the other end as well. The K, the E, the K. You see, they also sit on each other. So that is alignment. That is alignment. So this one is like a center alignment. So it's central. Or what under or it can be justice as well. Like it justified alignment. So you always have the left, the right, center, or justified as far as maybe your typography is concerned. So you can see it's starting from the same point, ending at the same point. So that is alignment. Now, it is that alignment now that every other thing now follows. So this biggest block, it forms the boundary for every other details coming on this flyer. Look at the logo at the top. You see it's seated in the middle of it. Look at online intensive prayer session. You see it's seated in the middle of it. Even where it wrote topic or the toe in red format there is seated in the center of it. Look at the picture, the image used is seated in the middle. The 9 p.m. what? It's also contained within the block of the main thing. And look at the time zone and other information, the meeting link, the dates, and what have you. Everything is within that block. So if you look at this flyer now, there's nothing stretching outside of this theme, setback to bounce back. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? How many of you are actually following?
Yes, sir.
It's only one
Yes, sir.
voice I'm hearing. Are you learning
Sir.
anything?
Yes, sir. We are
Yes,
learning.
sir. We are learning, sir.
Good. So what we are saying here is that let your work. I've seen some of us birthday design, it's good to encourage us at the level that we are. I want to open my WhatsApp again, and I won't be sharing my screen on my WhatsApp though. But I will just go there and pick up design. Maybe I can just point us to it on the group chat. You know, okay. So this is another good example, and let me tell you something that there's a template on on Canva, and you're not trying to replace it with your own. It does not mean that everything about that template